series that I wanted to do, and also I love the idea of, like, this is a straight up good idea. Now, basically, each episode is going to have two, each part or each episode of this What If series is going to have 2 episodes of Young Justice in them for the story. So, basically, before I get any farther into the What If, I just want to say, mostly what was it? So basically, the custom Superman review is coming out later this week. Also, I will be coming out with a Red Hood custom as well, but I will be tracking my progress, my Red Hood custom on my TikTok page. If you don't know my TikTok page, I'll leave it in the description. But yeah, so well, let's get into it. Now, guys, this is what if the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were in the Young Justice universe, or in the Young Justice TV show. Now, I did one with What If Invincible was in Young Justice, but I'm pretty sure I did that one pretty wrong, so I might do that one and redo that one. I might redo that one. Oh, guys, sorry. Man, my camera did a time gap again. I mean, my phone did a time gap again. Sorry, guys. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is, what was it? Basically, what I'm going to be doing is that I did do an Invincible Young Justice one, but I did that one pretty badly, and I stuttered too much on that one, so I'm probably going to delete that one off my page and redo it, or just upload a new series of it, saying I'm redoing it. Now, guys, I am going to be eventually doing a movie What If, so if you guys want a specific movie What If to be done, just hit me up. And mostly my movie What If will probably be a whole entire new What If series, just merged into one video. So yeah. So guys, let's get started into the main story. Now, we don't start the story off doing the day of the Justice League, or the Justice League picking up their sidekicks and taking them to the Hall of Justice. No. We pick our story off seeing how the Ninja Turtles would come into the world of Young Justice. Now, we start our story off. Okay, so first off, the fifth Ninja Turtle, aka the female Ninja Turtle from the certain comic book story, she's not gonna be in this What If. I might include her in season 3 of this What If, but yeah, not now, not in the first season of this series. So yeah, so let's get into it. Basically, let's start our story off with Master Splinter. So Master Splinter, we start our story off with Master Splinter. Now, Master Splinter will actually be a ninja warrior on the same pretty much level of Ra's al Ghul, Batman, and Deathstroke, pretty much being able to beat probably all 3 of them at once. But probably after fighting all of them, probably die from exhaustion. Basically, Splinter's origin was basically he was a he was like a trained disciple of, Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul teached him at full capacity, like pretty much training him so much that in fact Splinter grew up to be as strong as Ra's al Ghul, maybe even stronger, but also being able to go up against Batman or Deathstroke and probably come out on top. So basically, Ra's al Ghul I might turn Ra's al Ghul into Shredder, but I don't know yet. So Ra's al Ghul might just be the Ninja Turtle Shredder, but I don't know. So basically, Splinter Splinter will basically be training the Ninja Turtles at full thrust. I mean, like, not letting any of them go unchecked. Basically, Splinter actually fled the League of Assassins because he didn't like how they were doing. Because he saw one thing that pushed him over the edge that he couldn't be with. Assassin, they were sent on a mission to kill a whole entire family. Like, a whole entire family. Now, it was like a strong ambassadors type of family. But basically, they had about 3 kids. And they were sent to only kill the children. Not the parents. Not the ambassador. They said to kill only the kids. Brutally. And also make sure the parents watch. So Deku was, sorry guys, I'm still on my, my My Hero Academia streak on What Ifs, but Splinter was off board on that. He was against it. And he tried to stop him, but he was too late and they already did the deed. So, Splinter left the League of Assassins, basically not going back. But eventually, Splinter, was living life, basically being in the shadows, when eventually Splinter was walking by a chemical plant. This chemical plant was some sort of, what was it, LexCorp's experiment, and actually slash Katniss experiment as well. Basically, this was like Katniss's first base of operations before Katniss even became a real thing. Because the Ninja Turtle pretty much timeline in this what if takes place years before the Justice League gets their sidekicks, or before the sidekicks and Young Justice, appear in the world, like Robin or Kid Flash or Aqualad. So um, basically Splinter is walking by it, and he sees that as glowing light coming from it. He sneaks in there and trying to see what's happening, and he sees tanks of goo or radioactive ooze, aka radioactive ooze, the TMT ooze. So he looks at it closer, and one of the scientists there accidentally slipped up, being scared of the man that they're seeing through the mirror, aka Splinter. Splinter was still human, by the way. Basically, knocking over into a chemical vat of ooze, but also knocking over a very explosive, I mean like a explosive, highly explosive canister or something. And basically, it blew up the whole entire lab. Like it was so explosive, it blew up the whole entire lab, like the whole entire foundation of the building. It collapsed, and basically all the ooze was splattered all around the people. The people that most people died. Some people got away and were mutated into animals like Bebop and Rocksteady, and they went off into the world, basically becoming villains, and also alongside a couple other mutated villains. But also, some ooze was splatted into the sewers. Like a whole entire canister of ooze went into the sewers and fell upon a group of basically baby turtles. A group of baby turtles were doused in it completely, and basically Splinter was also doused in it as well, becoming a rat man or a rat sensei, like a normal human height rat creature that had a lot more strength and agility that he had before he was, human. Basically, him having a lot more, you know, yeeks. What was it? Kicks. He can jump a lot higher and have more, type of superhuman strength type of stuff. So basically, Splinter went to Splinter went into the sewers, basically being afraid of himself. Basically, him over the course of a week developing his abilities. But he was walking down the sewers when he found a group of two of 1 foot baby humanoid turtles. They were walking around on all fours like babies, and basically looking around. They saw Splinter and basically ran to him, seeing him as a father figure of some sorts. So we see about a couple months, a couple of years later, and Splinter started to train them like he was trained, training them at full speed, basically trying to make sure they're as most strong as him one day, basically being able to defend themselves and maybe even become heroes and take down the League of Assassins. Now, basically, the foot is actually the League of Assassins that they're actually going up against. Now, basically, the Ninja Turtles are actually their main base of operations are actually in Gotham City, but sometimes they also do go to Metropolis to do some work with the if the Bebop and Rocksteady shows up at Metropolis or Gotham. Mostly they show up in Gotham though. So basically, over the years of the Ninja Turtles being Ninja Turtles, they eventually made their names out in the public, basically naming themselves the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or some people just call them Ninja Turtles. So basically, they were the new heroes in Metropolis and Gotham, being seen at both areas, and somehow, in some places, being seen in other areas like Smallville in some situations. Now, basically, Ninja Turtles did a bunch of team ups, sometimes with Batman, and basically having a team up with also Superman about 3 times in their whole entire lifetime. Basically, teaming up with Superman one time against Lex Luthor, when Lex Luthor tries to figure out the secret of the mutant ooze. And basically, Deku, Leo, basically is, trained by Splinter more precisely because Splinter sees a lot of potential in Leo because Leo doesn't show off or is super into computers or too angry or, uh, well, irresponsible. So basically, Leo is trained the most and pretty much devotes himself to training his body. So Ninja Turtles basically have the same type of, um, you know, emotional like connection or personalities, and Splinter basically they have the same type of base that the TMNT universe has, and the 2003 TV show. They have the same base, basically just animated in the Young Justice, art style. So basically, they make a name for themselves, being heroes for about a couple years, probably let's say probably about 9 years, maybe 10 years. So Ninja Turtles become pretty, good. So eventually they do team up with Aquaman then and there, and eventually they become their own heroes. But they did name themselves Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so they were still teenage heroes. So he also did team up with the, what was it, with Robin one time. Michelangelo did team up with Robin one time, and Raphael did team up with, what was it, Aqualad, and Michelangelo did team up with Kid Flash then and there, and also Flash himself. So basically, I already explained the whole entire backstory of the Ninja Turtles in this universe. So let's get into the main series. Now we start our story off in the same day when the Ninja Turtles or the Young Justice or the what was it, teenagers or per se sidekicks are being recruited or given access to the Justice League Tower, not in Justice League Hall of, I don't know, I think Justice League of Hall, I don't know what it's called. Basically, the Hall, or Justice League's Hall, they get invited there and they go to the Justice League Hall. But also, they do get invited by Batman, Superman, and also Aqualad and Aquaman to come there and become a part of the, Justice League, kind of. So they accept, and Splinter does allow them to. So they go there. Basically, they we start our story off with Robin taking down, Mr. Freeze with Batman, Kid Flash taking down, um, what was it, Captain Cold with, Flash. Also, it was Aqualad taking down, I think, Killer Frost with Aqualad, and basically, that was basically it. So basically, they take their group of, Green Arrow and Speedy take down, what was it? I think it was, I don't know what his name is. He's like the male Killer Frost, or he's like evil, like Iceman in the DC universe. I don't know his name. I'm really sorry, guys. I should have wrote down their names. But basically, the Ninja Turtles are we slipped through the Ninja Turtles fighting Bebop and Rocksteady and taking them out pretty quickly, but also being stopped by basically another ice villain of them, one of the mutated villains called ISO. They call himself ISO. Basically, he's like a mutated polar bear that has the ability to shoot ice from his mouth. They take it down pretty quickly, take him down in like about 11 minutes, and takes him out pretty quickly. So they get to the Justice League and they arrive there they arrive there at the same time that Kid Flash and Flash show up, and pretty much they say it's the big day. And Michelangelo dabs up, Kid Flash saying it's our first day at the Hall of Justice. So they get ready and they walk into the Hall of Justice. So basically, they walk up in the Hall of Justice and they sit down in the waiting room, whatever. Basically, the League starts talking to themselves, basically trying to do an investigation why all of the heroes, including the Ninja Turtles, were attacked by ice-based heroes. The Ninja Turtles were like walking around, pretty much, looking around, but also them being shocked by Speedy. By Speedy explaining to the Justice League about how that they're keeping secrets from us to the you know Young Justice, pretty much explaining they keep it secrets from us, saying that they have a whole entire base up in the sky. They're not even telling us the full story. Basically, Speedy quitting and leaving the Hall of Justice and becoming his own hero. Basically, Leonardo looks at Speedy, stops him for a second, and says, "Are you really want to do this?" Speedy pretty much lashes off at Leo and saying to get off of me. Leo says, "Don't touch me like that." Pretty much Leo being kind of angry, but letting go of the anger pretty quickly, not trying to be like Raphael. So you can leave, but if you leave out that door, you can't come back. Basically, Kid Flash says, "Wait, can he?" And Green Arrow stays quiet. Speedy walks off and walks out of there throwing his hat on the ground. Now, Mikey picks it up and says, "Hey, yo, guys, look at me, I'm Speedy." Pretty much him making, what was it, arrow shapes with his nunchucks. Now, basically, Raphael, scolds Mikey saying that you're too immature and all the other stuff. So, we skip about, let's say, a couple minutes later when the Young Justice or, what was it, Donnie and Robin pretty much sneak into the database of the Hall of Justice and basically find a Catman's base, saying that, well, let's check it out. So they go to the Catman's base. Kid Flash saves a scientist, but also alongside the Ninja Turtles sneaking into the base with relative ease because they're ninjas. They sneak in there pretty easily, and they sneak up on Aqualad, Robin, and Kid Flash, them being super, scared, saying that, how did you do that? Pretty much Leo saying we're trained from a very young age to become, well, ninjas. So, they get ready, and basically, instead of Aqualad seeing the alien in the elevator, Donnie actually sees it and says, "Hey guys, look at it." Pretty much the elevator closing and going down. Basically, they follow the elevator down, and Mikey and Donnie and Robin pretty much go in there first, basically getting ready and, sliding in there. They get into the Catmas base, and Kid Flash and Mikey run off from the rest of the crew when they get down to the main base of operations, like the first building of the alien experiments, basically seeing a whole entire, like a whole entire, like, line of type of gorilla type alien elephant type of creatures, basically being kind of confused. Also, Donnie being really confused as well. Mikey says they're alien creatures. Basically, Robin looks at Mikey and says, "So, are they friends of yours?" Mikey says, "Do they even look like us? We're green skin and we're turtle mutations. We're not like, well, whatever these are." So basically, they see one of the alien creatures on top of one of the bigger creatures, or basically send out some sort of pretty much silent alarm to the rest of the people in the base, pretty much saying that it's intruders. So at first, basically, the head scientist there pretty much says to there's probably a miscalculation because the real Catmus is the most secure base in DC. Basically saying if you're so worried about it, take a squad there and do whatever you want. And if you find any intruders, just take them out or arrest them. Later, so we see that the Genos are the creatures that are basically controlling Guardian. Guardian's being controlled to do stuff that he normally would never really do because he's a hero. They walk into a room, basically looking around, seeing that the Catmas is off the grid, using electricity type, pretty much, what was it, aliens of some sorts, to power up their power source, basically having them, off the grid, doing their science experiments, off of surveillance, take being off of the government's, you know, tail. Basically, the government being off of their tail. Basically, them being off the grid, and you know, Donnie hacks into the machine alongside Robin. Basically, them looking into it, seeing that basically the Genos they're making basically animals of weapons. They're basically making artificial, organic weapons. They're basically in the room when Guardian walks in and says, "Wait, Robin, Kid Flash, Aqualad, Ninja Turtles?" Basically, him saying, "Why are you here?" But we can call it Justice League and sort all this out. But the Geno controls Guardian's mind, saying to take him out now. Guardian says to finish them all and rip them to shreds, basically for the other Genos charging at the Young Justice. Now, since it's about, you know, 7 of them, they take out the Genos pretty quickly and get away pretty quickly. But also, they actually do knock the snot out of, well, Raphael knocks the snot out of Guardian, taking them out pretty quickly. Now, them pretty much have 7 of them. They sprint out there pretty quickly and they get the job done, not wasting any time. They get away and they move on to the next, well, floor, lower, and they eventually come across, well, the telepathic, Geo, or yeah, Geo. Basically, the telepathic Geno sees them, pretty much, tries to fight them. Raphael sprints up at full speed, trying to take him out, but he gets knocked out immediately by a huge blast of telepathic waves, basically pushing Raphael down to the ground, almost cracking his shell. Since Raphael is out at this point and knocked out, they pretty much sprint off. Mikey pretty much dragging Raphael on his back, running at full speed behind everybody. So they get to the Cadmus pretty much room. Basically, Leonardo and Donatello holding it open. Basically, them being able to slide in between the doors into the Superboy room. Basically, them looking around the room, eventually finding Superboy's tube or capsule or body. So they open it. They open it up. Pretty much, Aqualad saying that we should open it up. Pretty much letting him free. And then finding out before they even get to the conclusion to let him free that he's Superman's clone. Basically, Mikey and Donnie pretty much, if Donnie, Leonardo, Mikey also go against the saying that you can't just let him out. He's Superman's clone. What if he tries to go up against us? Pretty much Kid Flash saying the smart, replies and say, it's 7 of us, 1 of him. What can you do? Pretty much Leonardo saying that he's Superman's clone. You don't know if he has all the powers of Superman or is even stronger than Superman. So I don't think 7 teenage superheroes can take down a kid that literally has the powers of Superman. Maybe even stronger than Superman. So Aqualad still comes to the conclusion to let him free, and Robin's on board, and you know pretty much what was it? Pretty much Kid Flash is on board. The tiebreaker is one more person because Donnie and Leo are against it. They look at Donnie and say, what is it? Pretty much Donnie says, I'm on board with letting him go. We can't just let him in here. He's still a living, breathing person. And pretty much Donnie says, whatever. Pretty much Robin lets him free. And out of nowhere, well, the Geos pretty much direct, what was it? Superboy, they take him out. Pretty much the Genos controlling Superboy. Superboy breaks out, pretty much taking all of them and trying to take them all out. But Leo, Donnie, and Mikey, and also Raphael wakes up and gets ready and takes out his size. They start fighting at full speed, and pretty much Donnie says, I wish I didn't have to use this, and pretty much takes out a kryptonite dagger, or a kryptonite sai, and throws it towards Raphael. Raphael grabs it and pretty much slices a pretty nasty cut on Superboy's waist. Superboy falls onto the ground, pretty much yelling out in pain. And pretty much, Robin saying, "You have a kryptonite weapon?" We have kryptonite weapons, and basically Donnie's saying it was pretty hard to get enough kryptonite to make a kryptonite Psi for Wrath. Wrath pretty much starts trying to, go in for another slice or stab towards Superboy, but Superboy shoots a laser at Raphael, knocking him out. Pretty much Superboy flying at full speed towards everybody, going berserker, pretty much knocking everybody out. The last person standing is Leonardo, and Leonardo's pinning up a pretty good fight for about 22 minutes. And about for about 32 minutes, he's doing a pretty good fight up against, Superboy, and it stretches out for at least a half an hour. But eventually, Superboy gets a pretty good tug on Leo's foot and slams him down so hard into the ground that it almost cracks his shell, or almost cracks Leo's shell. Leo is knocked out, complete indent in the ground of his shell. And, Leo is knocked out. The rest of the Catmas people walk into the room and pretty much start to, take all of them in and put them in tubes. Basically saying we can clone them and get rid of the, originals and put them back into the world, making sure they never find out our secret. So they try to do the same thing. Basically, them finding a new type of genetic code in the Ninja Turtles' bodies. Pretty much them seeing that the Ninja Turtles have very, very, very unique cells, but also them seeing that the Ninja Turtles have DNA of a past project that they had before Katniss became a real thing. Basically, seeing that they have mutagen in their blood. The Katniss head scientist sees this as a huge opportunity to become, to enhance the blockbuster project. Basically, seeing this as a huge success in his eyes. But basically, we're ended off there, and we move on to episode 2. They all talk to Now we skipped episode 2, and we skipped all the way through the pretty much Young Justice being, in the tubes, locked up in the tubes, basically seeing them, you know, pretty much almost, basically, getting through towards Superboy, pretty much telling him to, free them, and he can have a life. We can show him the sun. We can show him, Superman, or some sort of like his brother, or like maybe even his father, because Superboy kind of is his father because he's a clone of him. Basically, Superboy gets talked to by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Young Justice, or the Aqua Lad, Kid Flash, and Robin. Pretty much them getting through to Superboy. Superboy saying, I'll join you. So they get ready and they get started. So basically, during the whole entire event, when Superboy breaks out, he gets pummeled a little bit by the other Genos, but they get stopped very quickly by the 7 other members of the soon-to-be Young Justice, pretty much knocking some teeth loose, basically making them, get, backing off. Basically, Superboy, Alcalad, and the rest of the team, and, Leonardo, get away from the other, Genos and jump up into the, elevator shaft. But Superboy grabs Alcalad and flies up, but he sees that he stopped flying, and he's not flying. He falls to the ground, but Robin saves him, throwing a shuriken or batarang to make sure, Aqualad grabs it and pulls both of them up. Superboy pretty much having a life identity crisis a little bit, saying that Superman can fly. Why can I not fly? Pretty much him, getting a little bit sad. But Kid Flash and Mikey pretty much cheer him up, saying that, well, you can't fly, but it's pretty cool. You can leap buildings in a single bound. That's pretty cool. They get out of the escalator shaft pretty quickly because another escalator, or what was it? Elevator shaft. They get out of the elevator shaft, and another elevator is going down the shaft, and pretty much lands right when the group get out of the elevator shaft. The elevator shaft opening up, but Superboy pretty much kicks that right down, pretty much breaking the elevator shaft, making it fall down to the bottom of the, area. So SL15, that was the floor they were on. Pretty much, they start running off, and Superboy leads them to some sort of dead end. But Leonardo and pretty much Robin say there's a great space because, well, the whole entire shaft, and that they can get through it pretty quickly and not have such a big scene. So basically, Ninja Turtles pretty much backflip up into the shaft pretty quickly, but they do have a little bit of hard time because of their shells, but they are able to squeeze through the shafts pretty quickly. Basically, the head scientists and the rest of the people in Katniss think that they have the group cornered, but they see that it's just a wrong. It's just they see that it's just a wrong pretty much foul play because Donnie and Robin hacked into these motion sensors, pretty much lead them on to think that they're somewhere that they're not even at. Pretty much, Kid Flash, gets sees that what was it? Robin pretty much hacked the motion sensors. Robin basically being told by Kid Flash that I finally got speed. I finally got room to move. Pretty much running up the stairs, taking down multiple Genos as he runs into them. Mikey follows up the side of the stairs, pretty much jumping to stair, pretty much ninja style. They see that as more behind us, and Super Boy pretty much punches the flights of stairs, pretty much letting the Genos to fall down to their deaths or to their injuries. So Leo says, "Good job, Superboy," and pretty much says, "Superboy, hurry up." And pretty much Superboy runs after them, and them going, higher and higher up into the building. The rest of the Katniss crew or the villains are going up the pretty much escalator shaft, trying to cut off the group, but pretty much one of the scientists said, "I get up on this get off on this floor and grab something from Project Blockbuster." Pretty much the scientist whispering to himself, pretty much saying that we need to exceptionally or to especially get the Ninja Turtles back because their blood has so much, pretty much what was it? Pretty much so much potential because their blood is actually way stronger than actual pure radioactive ooze, meaning that the Ninja Turtles' blood is way stronger than the normal radioactive ooze that they lost in the explosion a couple years back. So basically, they see that the Ninja Turtles can exceptionally bring a new order of evolution into the world. Kid Flash and the rest of the group get to a dead end where they're locking down the area. Zero Boy tries to punch through the door, but in this universe, since they have like Ninja Turtles with superhuman strength, they're actually able to push the door open, peel the door open. I mean, but they see that the other door is filled with other Genos, so they go backwards, and Robin finds another way out, pretty much kicking down a side door in the hallway, saying "this way." Get cut off by another group of Genos, pretty much stopping them being stopped by another group of Genos accompanied by Guardian. Them being cornered, Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo, Leo, Kid Flash, Superboy, and Aqualad and Robin getting ready to fight, pretty much taking out their weapons, saying that you want a piece? I'll give you a piece. Pretty much Raphael yelling out in frustration about to charge towards all of them, eventually getting stopped by the telepathic Geno that came out of nowhere, pretty much explained to Superboy that you have a choice to stay here and be a slave or to save us from all of this, torture. At the time when the Geno was talking with with Superboy, the rest of the crew was knocked out. Superboy chooses freedom, and very much hero music plays in the background, and Superboy gets jiggy with it. Guardian tells him to go, and I'll keep back or keep the head scientist at Katniss at bay. But they see the head base. The scientist is right behind them, saying that I don't think so, and pretty much says the Blockbuster project will give me the strength and the power to show you all and bring pretty much balance to Katniss, or power to Katniss. So basically, the Blockbuster project wasn't enhanced by the Ninja Turtles' blood, but pretty much before the scientists mutated, saying that I'm going to take your blood, you Ninja Turtles, and become the strongest being in the world. Basically, him transforming and getting ready to beat a holy. I mean, straight up getting ready to beat the snot out of all of them. Guardian tries to fight, the scientist, but the scientist straight up pretty much knocks the snot out of Guardian in like seconds, pretty much taking him out with a pimp slap. I mean, like straight up a pimp slap. That wasn't no normal slap. That was a pimp slap. He's sent him flying. So yeah, Guardian pretty much the worst hero ever. But Superboy jumps in, going one-on-one with the scientist, pretty much going back and forth. But mainly the scientist is winning, punching Superboy into the ground. Basically, Superboy and scientist pretty much go right into it, pretty much flying right to the ceiling. Superboy, Kid Flash, and Robin, and pretty much everybody else, the Ninja Turtles, pretty much ninja out onto the other side of the, ceiling that just got busted. Seeing that, Superboy is going against the scientists pretty, badly. They're on like the, what was it, the main base, like in the front of the building on the, balanced floor. Basically them going all out. Leonardo says charge, and pretty much all of them start fighting the scientists at full speed. Now, automatically, mainly all of them are getting bodied at this point. Like, they're winning a little bit, but most of at the end, they all get bodied and get folded pretty quickly. The only people left are pretty much Leonardo and Raphael. They start fighting, like, pretty much fighting at full speed. I mean, like, straight up fighting, not letting any of their, pretty much bodies' strength go at waste. Pretty much them pushing their body to the maximum limit, taking pretty good slices and cuts into, the scientist, or Maxwell, that's his name. Maxwell's is, mutated Maxwell's body. At this point, Leonardo gets pinned to a wall and starts getting punched over and over again in the stomach by the, mutated Maxwell. Raphael tries to get him off of him, because Raphael sees that if, Maxwell goes on this, punches Leo more and more, the building will collapse and he'll probably kill Leo. So he's trying to, stop Maxwell by cutting him left and right and stabbing him in the chest with, the kryptonite Psi. But pretty much it's not really doing anything, because Maxwell's mutation state, I guess he can mutate, so, or like regenerate a little bit. Basically, Raphael getting slapped off, pimp slapped like how Guardian got. Later on, Robin, Kid Flash, and the rest of the group wake up pretty much in full strength, or like half strength, pretty much, and them having enough, pretty much, power to make a plan to collapse the building down. Pretty much the rest of the group trick Maxwell into breaking and destroying all the pillars of the building, making it collapse on itself. They do the same kind of plan that happened in episode 2 originally, and they take down Maxwell the same way, kind of, and they, get out of the building. They get out of the building in enough time to get out there, in enough time to, get out of the building before it collapses on Maxwell. The Ninja Turtles shield Robin and Aqualad, but also shield Kid Flash. Superboy starts shielding himself, pretty much them getting out of the building almost unscathed. I mean the rubble, almost unscathed. Them having a few broken bones. The team having a few broken bones, except for the Ninja Turtles. Them having none, except for Raphael having a broken leg. Later after that, after they, celebrate, Superman and the rest of the Justice League show up at Katniss, pretty much them looking at the team and, looking up alongside them, seeing that they're making a... Some of the Justice League think they have a pretty good team going for them. When the Justice League shows up, I mean the whole entire Justice League shows up. Everyone. Captain Marvel, Adam, what was it, I think, Aquaman, Flash, Superman, Batman, Hawkman, everybody. Basically, Superboy looks at Superman, pretty much showing the Kryptonian symbol on his chest, or is on his suit that's ripped up. Pretty much saying that, after Superman, or, pretty much, what was it, Batman singing, is that what it is? What is it? I don't know what he said exactly, but basically, Superboy yells out that, he's Superman's clone, and everybody, was kind of shocked, including Captain Marvel, Flash, Aquaman, Green Arrow, everybody. A group of the Justice League capture Maxwell and get him out there pretty quickly. Pretty much having the help of Green Lantern and Hawkman. And pretty much the Justice League, aka Flash, Batman, and what was it? Aquaman pretty much scold the group. Eventually, Batman seeing that, Magic Splinter shows up, pretty much scolding the Ninja Turtles, slapping him on the head, saying, "What was you thinking? I thought you were going to go to the Justice League and have a fun time. Maybe even join the Justice League as it is, but you were going and messing with Katniss." Basically, Splinter did study Katniss for a good 5 years as the Ninja Turtles were being raised by him. So, yeah. Basically, they do a little bit of a rebellion, saying that we did good work today. Pretty much them, asking Justice League, Superboy telling Batman to get out. It's simple. If you're on board, if you're not on board, get out the way. Blah blah blah. Something, all the other stuff, all the original stuff that were just saying. The Ninja Turtles also talking to Splinter. Pretty much Splinter saying it's okay for them to join the Young Justice. Basically, they get taken to a cave that was originally the first base of operations of the Justice League. Basically, them being told that this is going to be back in recommission, and it's going to be under the terms of the Justice League, and you're going to be forming a team, but this is going to be under the terms of the Justice League, and the 6 of you, no, the 8 of you are going to be doing all of this. So basically, they said the 8 of us, and basically, Supergirl, Martian Girl, whatever her name is, Martian Girl, shows up with Martian Manager, pretty much Batman saying that's Martian Manager's niece. Now, pretty much, they start talking, and pretty much Michelangelo and Kid Flash start flirting with her automatically. After the whole entire event, when the Young Justice gets set up at their base of operations, basically, the Light have a little talk about how Katniss is going and how they have a plan for the young heroes. And I'm gonna leave it off here, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the What If. I hope you guys enjoy episode 1 of What If the Ninja Turtles were in the Young Justice, or in Young Justice, or the Young Justice universe. So I hope you guys would like the What If, and also, guys, I will be coming up with part 4, I think, part 4 of part 3 or part 4. Pretty sure part 3 or part 4 of What If Shazam was in the Invincible universe. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video, hope you guys like, subscribe, and as always, guys, have a blessed day.